is looking deep down the left side. Mendeville into the end zone. Touchdown!
Down the sideline, still falling to the house.
And the players streaming from the sideline to celebrate with 17 seconds left.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to BVarsity Live for Thursday, May the 5th. What were you going to say earlier, Trevor? Revenge of the 5th or something like that?
Yeah, it's Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars nerd joke. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. Anyway, happy whatever day you want to be celebrating today day. And I'm Zach. That's Trevor. We're in the TBC Media Studios a little bit. I'm going to scoot over here, right in the middle.
Scoot it!
And we have a big day today. We have an hour-and-a-half long show for you, or at least close to that. We're not sure exactly when we're going to end it, but we'll go well past 3 o'clock. We have Cody Kessler on the show, everybody, at 2:30, the former USC quarterback, now Cleveland Browns quarterback, and he's going to stop by. He's got rookie camp next week, by the way, so he's literally, this is like his last act in Bakersfield, I think, is coming to see us, which we certainly appreciate.
Very much so.
We've also got the Liberty swimming team in advance of the League championships this weekend and the Valley championships next weekend and state after that. So big time for them as well. And we begin our show with another guy moving on up in the world of sports, AJ SHEARON, former. Are you still Liberty coach or are you former?
I think it's former.
You are now officially the former Liberty High basketball coach and now a Fresno Pacific assistant coach. And
lead assistant, sir.
Lead
Thanks,
assistant.
Trev.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
not assistant to CJ Haydock. You are assistant. Anyway, that's an office joke. It feels like it came about quickly, but also you've been friends with CJ a long time.
Right.
I know this is probably something you had your eye on. Tell us a little bit about how it did come about that you're now a college coach.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when there's change like this, it's bred by maybe I'm not happy in my current role or something like that. But at Liberty, I mean, obviously it's the best job in Kern County in my opinion. I was exceedingly happy, loved it. No plans for this at all. CJ and I are friends, so we had been spending some time together just talking X's and O stuff. And kind of some things fell into place up there for him. He got the job, obviously, in early April. One thing led to another, and then all of a sudden, here I am. So it was a big step and a dream come true, really, for me to take that step, not just to the college level, but to get in a situation where I'm going to be working with one of my best friends every day. It's awesome, and not a lot of people that get to that level can really have that sort of story.
Now, when he offers you this job, did you have to think about it? I mean, I know leaving Liberty probably wasn't easy, or was it, this is a dream of mine, I'm taking it no matter what?
I've been coaching since I was a junior in high school. I was coaching Rosedale Middle School when I was 17. So this is my 14th year coaching basketball, and throughout, it's been a dream of mine to coach at that level. My father-in-law is a former Cal State Bakersfield coach, so I've been around the college game for a long time, something I've always dreamed of. So when he offered me and just kind of looking at situationally how that would work in my life, it was a no-brainer. Not only is it, like I said, a step to the college level, it's a step to FPU and to CJ and to everything they have going there, which is so exciting.
Having said that, how difficult to leave Liberty and tell those guys that anybody who knows you get as close with your players as anybody in town,
Right.
I think.
Right.
So that must have been difficult.
It was. It was really difficult, but I think so much of the closeness with my players comes from, more than just a mentorship or a coaching role, but a friendship also. And I think, like you guys would share, if someone's going to move on to another role, as a friend, you're happy for them. And I think they were really genuinely happy for me. There was no tears on my end. I had rehearsed it enough times to not break down, and it was really hard to tell them, but they were so positive and so happy for me across the board. They know it's something that I've achieved too, and like we try and get our kids up to the next level, they know it's a step for me up to the next level.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to have that chemistry left, and possibly assistant coaches taking over. Jeff Hicks, I know, is put in for the job. We'll see what happens there, but that's something that could keep that program going, which I know will be important to you. But at Fresno Pacific, what's the situation like there? I mean, it feels like you guys can have some success right away. Is it going to be more of a building effort? Where are you at right now?
Well, I think if you look at not just the coaching staff, but if you look throughout athletics at Fresno Pacific, it's a really exciting time. Very young athletics department that's looking to grow and mold our programs there into something that's going to be really special. And what immediately struck out to me, if you look at CJ's first recruiting class, you look at Elijah Hill from Centennial, RJ Horn from Emmanuel, that's two local kids. It reminded me of kind of the Pat Hill days at Fresno State when they're wearing the green V for Valley on their helmets. We really want to win the Valley, and I think with me coming on and joining CJ, we're going to make that a priority. We really want to give our Valley kids a great opportunity to play at the Division II level. We're in an awesome conference. We're close. We're an hour and a half away from Bakersfield, and obviously very central to the Fresno kids. So it's something that's really exciting. We think we can compete right away. We think we can win right away. But ultimately, we want to implement our culture and our values that he brings from Emmanuel and I bring from Liberty and get our guys going. Now,
you kind of led me in my next question. Obviously, you are going to have your eye on Bakersfield, probably the primary recruiter for this area.
Right.
Now we have all these restrictions. We can't ask you about specific recruits, but this area, in some ways, I think in basketball is undermined a little bit. I mean, do you feel like you can kind of fill that gap with some of these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just kind of looking back at our own program of kids that have we've sent 4 kids to the NAIA or to the D2 level just from Liberty. So the kids are here. You look at kids that maybe aren't D1 kids, but are that next tier below. There's a lot in town. And like you said, I can't comment specifically, but if you go to any high school team in either of the leagues you go and you look and watch kids play, you'll look at that kid and say, hey, he looks like someone that I could see playing at that level. But for whatever reason, it just kind of hiccups and doesn't make it to that next step. So that's absolutely going to be my focus. I want to make sure that these kids in town have a platform now at FPU to succeed and perform at a high level.
Oh, I was just thinking off the top of my head, kind of like those kids. I know Kyle Sturm is one guy that I've always looked at and said, wow, this guy has a great basketball body, plays the game inside. And I know that he was one guy that CJ was kind of looking at for a while, and those are things kind of up in the air. But I completely agree with you, AJ. I think you look at this town, there is a lot of good talent around, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be weird for you to go back into that Liberty gym for the first time maybe next fall. Have you thought about what that time is going to be for you when you walk in there as a college coach looking to recruit in the gym that you spent, a majority of your life in?
Well, that's home, and that'll never change. I walked in there as an incoming freshman in the summer of 1999, and it was dirt floors. But for whatever reason, they had both hoops set already in there. So I can vividly remember walking in, the whole group of us, probably 15 or 20 kids that were going to play summer league basketball, and Coach Stan Davis, who's now at Independence, telling us, this is going to be your home. And it's been my home since 1999. So it'll always be home to walk in there. It will be weird to walk in and not go sit on the bench or, not be in my normal place. But that's home to me, and I'll be a Patriot through and through forever. That's not a choice at this point, and I've been there 17 years as a student and coach.
As we look through these photos behind us, how much of that style is going to, obviously it's a fun question for us to ask about how much of this style is going to be able to stay with you, or are you going to have to go college coaching
I was just about to ask that. I think the style helps you, but are they going to make you tone it down?
No, they won't. That's a great picture there. I like that one. That was a good outfit. If I had joggers on, Trevor would have something to say.
Hey, John, can we get that photo of his closet in there if we have it up? There we go.
Yeah, here we go.
The zebra.
No, I think it's just who I am, and I think at that level, even more so than the high school level, kids will sniff you out if you try and be anything other than you are, and that's a part of who I am. So that's not anything that I'm going to change. Obviously, we'll be suits, most nights. So it'll change a little things here and there, but, who I am is what made, my coming on as an assistant attractive to CJ and attractive to the administration. So I'm not going to change that at all. I think what CJ and I both share is that we're really passionate about our relationships with our players, and just being up there the last few weeks and seeing CJ talk to the guys, and he knows how my guys relate to me. That's going to be our strength. We're absolutely going to be players, coaches. The people are going to want to play for us. We know how to cultivate that atmosphere, and that's what we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to have John Farrand, our producer, who's an FPU grad. He's going to teach you the fight song afterwards if you haven't already learned it. So
I haven't learned it.
All right. John, are you up for that? Okay, he hasn't learned it either, so we're out of luck there. I tried. It's even wearing a suit, I was going to say, bow ties, pocket squares, your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
There's ways you can.
No, I'm not concerned. I'm going to be all right. I'll be all right in that sense. And we're really trying to cultivate an image for the university and for the basketball program that supports what we stand for. And that's all a piece of it. There's a reason that the staff and the people in administration are younger people. That's what they're going for. We want to show the viability of the university to the Fresno community, to the Bakersfield community. And that's something that CJ and I are passionate about. We want to go out and make sure that we're branded and giving a good, example of what FPU is.
Exhibition games against Cal State Bakersfield on the horizon?
We hope so. We hope so. We hope so.
It sounds like I hit a nerve there.
Coach Barnes. I coached Bray for a few years there, and he's there now. And Kyle Ferreira is there. A couple of my guys are there. So of course we'd love to get in the gym with those guys. I know Coach. Coach sent me a great text congratulating me. He's been so great to me. And so we'd love to do that. We'd love to get in town and have some of our family and friends come out and support us.
I got to ask you on another note, because we've got Cody Kessler coming in later. You happen to be, like, at least before Cody was drafted, the only Cleveland Browns fan in Bakersfield.
Right. So, I was looking for a team that I wouldn't be accused of being a bandwagon fan because I didn't have any NFL loyalty. And believe it or not, I picked the Browns. So when Cody got drafted, that was amazing. I actually coached Cody a little bit basketball-wise between his freshman and sophomore year AAU. So I've known Cody a long time. I know Donnie, and they're great people. Really excited for him, but really excited he's going to be on my team.
Did you have any premonition of that when the Browns were picking? Were you even paying attention to the draft at that time?
Well, I knew
it's kind of a busy week for you too. I know
it was, but I knew. I mean, obviously, quarterback is an area of need with where we've been the last couple of years. So knowing Cody was there, I was thrilled.
Look at that.
Yeah, I think Cody is a great fit. He's a natural fit. I think that with Hugh Jackson there's going to be some things that I think Cody can bring to the table with his accuracy and his leadership. Number one, I think there's no question that a big part of the reason he was brought there, knowing the history of their quarterback position, at least their recent history, Cody's the antithesis of that. He's going to lead. He's going to inspire guys. And he's going to be something that'll be an asset to the organization, whether he steps on the field week 1 or it's later on. He's going to be an asset, absolutely.
You were a Warriors fan before it was cool to be a Warriors fan.
Yeah.
And now you're a Browns fan before. Well, it's probably still not cool to be a Browns fan, but
Bakersfield, it's cool. It's cool in Bakersfield.
But Curry was physical problem. He productive in college, but people thought, is he physical enough for the pros? And all of a sudden he's a superstar. I'm not going to draw that parallel yet, but I
like it.
Cody's there too.
Like it.
People say, is he physical enough for the NFL? And I think we all think he is in here anyway. But anyway, AJ, to bring it back to the point, FPU is sort of I know the dream for now. And how do you foresee the next 5 years going for you guys? Like you said, you're a young staff. I mean, do you want to kind of build your product there? Now you're into that coaching ladder, and everybody thinks about the next job, at least on the outside looking in. Right. What's your perspective for the next 5 years?
CJ and I have had a lot of talks about this, and both of us, what I think makes us a little bit unique, having not been necessarily college guys, we're high school guys that are now in college. We don't have that perspective. We look at it as a program that we're trying to build. So all of our efforts, 100%, are into FPU, into the community. Our next 5 years, we'd like to build a team that can compete for conference championships and then ultimately get to the national tournament. Our conference is really cool. We have some LA schools, some Bay Area schools, and then we have some Hawaii schools. So every year, the FPU student athletes get to make a trip about 9-10 days to Hawaii. So that's not too bad. So that's a selling point for us.
You got that Hawaiian shirt picked out?
Yeah, as players and coaches. I'll have to find some way to implement that into the suit attire. But we really see it as a process that we're not looking for the next job. We're not watching behind our backs because someone's going to get us. We know that we're believed in and that we have the opportunity to do something special there.
That's very cool. And obviously, I didn't mean to get you ahead of yourself. You got to focus on the task at hand. But it's quite an opportunity for you. And I think Bakersfield's proud of you.
I wouldn't disagree. I think the minute I walked in the door, I think one of the first people to come up and introduce himself to me when I came in 2 years ago was at a volleyball game was AJ. He had little crews in hand, like you always do.
I did.
And you came up and you said, hello, welcome to Bakersfield. And I thought that was very, it was big of you, and you kind of set a precedent for yourself. And you've kind of shown that over the last 2 years to me. So good luck to you, man. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations again, AJ SHEARON, formerly of Liberty. We're sad to say that, but happy to say he's now the lead assistant at Fresno Pacific University. So AJ, thanks for joining us. We're going to be back with the Liberty swim team right after this on BVarsity Live.